That was the most amazing experience, Will. That was in 2000, the 19th, coincidentally, the 19th of November, 2008. And I was invited for an audience with Her Majesty. And it was just amazing. It was like speaking to my own mother. It was so
She was easy to speak to.
I'm sorry?
She was easy to speak to.
So easy to speak to. And it started out formally where she was asking. We'd had, remember, in November when I was appointed, and around that period we had these awful floods in Belize. So she was fully aware. Of course, she's briefed, or would have been briefed, and she was fully aware that we're going through a time of crisis. So she asked all these official questions about it, and the conversation flowed so very easily that pretty soon she was telling me about when her last visit and about flying over and seeing the manatees in the river there by the airport, and coming down to Punta Gorda, having lunch with the Palatine nuns, because Sister Josefina had said to me, please remind Her Majesty when you meet her about having lunch at Nazareth, which I did, and she remembered absolutely fantastically.
So she actually came down to Punta Gorda?
She came down to Punta Gorda.
And
there was a reception. Yes, indeed, yeah. In fact, I told her that I had brought the entire outfit for my dear comadre, Mrs. Flo Johnson, and she couldn't believe that I actually traveled from England with the hat and the clothing and everything to present for Miss Flo to wear to Her Majesty's arrival in Punta Gorda.
Okay, the royal, we have a relationship with England. We're part of the Commonwealth. You represented Belize over there. And what should Belizeans know? What's the significance of having the Queen in our midst and now King Charles?
Right. Very good question. I think there are two prongs to answer. One is that Belize is one of the realms, which means that the Queen is the head of state. The monarch is the head of state. And as High Commissioners in the United Kingdom, for example, we actually, there's a special place for us. So where hierarchy is concerned, the High Commissioners of the realm are the first to be asked, for example, questions on monarchical constitution, on what monarchy should do or not do. So you have that. And by the way, I noticed that yesterday King Charles met with High Commissioners and their spouses of the realm. So that's
so
what I mean.
Being the realm.
Belize being a realm, and so the 14 realms now that Barbados has left. So that's one of it. But the wider, perhaps, and what for me is more important, is that we are a member of the Commonwealth family of nations. And Her Majesty the Queen was completely dedicated to and loved the fact that we were a family. And I think what Belizeans should know, which is your question, is yes, we're a realm, but more importantly, I think we are a member of a family that is a powerful family.
And
of these 54 nations, there is India, there's Australia, there's Canada, there's New Zealand, there's Singapore, that are members of the Commonwealth of Nations, and that we should really take the fullest advantage of this. Our associations, our diplomatic connections, in every way.
Yeah. If I may ask one more thing, what is it that you remember most about the Queen? I mean, there's lots that we said.
Yes. Listening to BBC television and to Sky, a number of people just off the streets were asked that very same question, Will, and a number of them said it is the glint in her eyes. And I would not say the glint, but it's that smile in her eyes. She looks you straight in your eyes, and you see you know, her kindness. But I want to say more than that. What personally I will always remember is her dignity, her respect, her steadfastness. I mean, how many times couldn't she have not been queen? You know, okay, I've had this. But she was determined to be of service. And I think people, all of us, the young people today, you're asking me about that, people of my generation must, your generation, and you do it, but we must understand what the value of this great lady was, and it was her steadfastness, her dignity, her humility, and her dedication to service.